Good morning. Welcome to Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. We're going to get started with our first two community songs. Lift your voice, join in right where you are. Here we go.
Up above my head, I can use it, yeah. Up above my head, I can use it, yeah. Up above my head, I can use it, yeah. I really do believe there's a heaven somewhere. Up above my head, I can use it, yeah. Up above my head, I can use it, yeah. But my head, I need it, yeah. I really do believe there's joy we share. All around this room, there's music we can share. All around this room, there's music we can share. All around this room, there's music we can share. I really do believe there's heaven right here. All around my heart, there's music right there. All around my heart, there's music right there. All around my heart, there's music right there. I really do believe there's music everywhere. Yeah! Up above my head, I'm music in the air. Up above my head, I'm music in the air. Up above my head, I'm music in the air. I really do believe there's music everywhere. Yes, I really do believe there's joy to share. Yes, I really do believe there's heaven right there. The breath of God is breathing me and resting in the breath of God. I know that all is well. The breath of God is breathing me and resting in the breath of God. I know that all is well. The grace of God is gracing me and resting in the grace of God. I know that all is well. The joy of God is joy in me and resting in the joy of God. I know that all is well. The love of God is loving me and resting in the love of God. I know that all is well. The breath of God is breathing me and resting in the breath of God. I know that all is well. I know that all is well. I know that all is well.
Good morning again. I want to take time to welcome everybody that's joining us on Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom. Grateful to technology so that we can remain connected. So my name is Reverend Rafe Ellis, and I'm honored to be the senior minister here at Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. For those of you who are joining us for the first time this morning, welcome. We are honored to have you as our guest. And for those of you who are regulars, let me remind us of who we are as we share with our guests who we are. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the very diversity of creation. We strive to live authentic spiritual lives through a practical application of the teachings of science of mind. We engage in sacred practices that uplift our spirit, deepen our awareness, and ignite our soul's self-expression. We demonstrate active compassion to ourselves, to one another, and the world. We experience meaningful contribution through giving generously of our time, talents, and treasures. And we intentionally, on purpose, shamelessly promote our community and our teachings. And so I invite you to participate in sharing this teaching in our community. If you're using a social media platform this morning, just grab that little share button, share it on your feed, or grab the YouTube link, share it to your social media platform at your leisure, and that just increases the reach of what we do and makes these teachings available to so many more people. So one of the things that we do every Sunday morning to really anchor us in a practice of inclusion is our inclusion candle lighting ritual. And we light these candles to celebrate the unity of all people, all faiths, all beings, all life. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the ways of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for Taoism, honoring the path of ultimate reality, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the middle way and path of compassion. And sometimes we pause for stubborn candles. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the teachings of Jesus as the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought teachings, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles of love and law. We light the 10th candle for absolute inclusivity, honoring that all are welcome and celebrated here. And we light this final candle, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen. So I invite you, again, right where you are, lift your voice, join in our next community song as we sing together. Here we go.
Even
So it's time for our morning announcements, and we're doing those a little bit differently now so that you have better access to the information that is on the announcement slides. And so you'll see the announcement slides and you'll hear my voice giving you information about those slides in the background. It enables you to take a screenshot of the information, take a photo of the information, because technology is giving us lots of different ways to take notes. And so let's take a look at our morning announcements. Our Actualizing Wholeness discussion group is taking a break for the rest of the year, and we will resume meeting on Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. Another of our ongoing offerings online is a daily morning meditation and prayer time. This is offered Monday through Saturday from 8 to 8:30 a.m. Pacific Time. They are 20-minute meditations followed by a prayer. Monday morning, Reverend Sarah Nichols does the meditation, and then I do them Tuesday through Saturday. If you are new to meditation or even a seasoned meditator, I invite you to join us for this time together. They are live streamed in all of the same locations that our Sunday service is on Facebook, Zoom, and YouTube. So check that out, and I hope you'll choose to join me. So we're in the midst of our Sierra Center for Spiritual Living annual pledge drive. And this is an opportunity for you to make your intentional pledge for your giving to the center for the next year, for 2021. Normally we would get these out in October. We're a little late this year with COVID, so they went out on November 12th. If you did not receive a letter, please get in touch with me via email, revrafe@sierracenter.org, and I'll get one right out to you. We are asking that folks send those back, that you make your intentional giving commitment to the center for the year 2021. This allows us to prepare our budget and keep the center fiscally solvent, and know that you are appreciated. So thank you for responding to that. Please mark your calendar and plan to join us for our Christmas Eve Holy Days candle lighting service. Normally, you would be here in person lighting a candle, and so one of the ways that you can still participate in our virtual online service is to send me an email or leave a voicemail that simply says you would like a candle lit in your name during the service. I will not be calling specific names out, but I will place a candle with a name card and hold you in consciousness for your divine yes as I light each candle. I look forward to spending this evening with you. So if you remember, at our annual meeting back in January, we made a commitment as a community to operate in spiritual principle in a balanced budget. And then COVID hit, and that has changed some things. And we are currently experiencing what appears to be a shortfall in meeting that budget, despite trimming everything back to bare bones just to stay in operation. So we are engaging in a spiritual practice to prove these principles called the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living Giving Tree. This is a divine idea in the mind of God that evolved through a conversation with one of our community members. And we are going to engage in proving these teachings, engaging in a spiritual practice. And so a number was written the last Sunday in November and sealed in an envelope and placed at the top of the tree. I don't even remember what that number was. It came to me in the final spiritual mind treatment of the Sunday service. I wrote it down, sealed it up, and let it go. And so we are inviting you to give an end-of-the-year gift to our Sierra Center for Spiritual Living Giving Tree. And each time a gift comes in, I will process those and put the card or some facsimile, depending on how they come. If they come via online, I will create a card, and we will decorate the tree with the cards that come in with Giving Tree donations.
This is above and beyond your annual pledge. And at the end of the year, I am quite certain that we will open that envelope and see that we met and even exceeded the shortfall, and that we are in fact living these teachings and living within the balanced budget and proving these teachings. As Ernest Holmes said, he would rather see someone prove these teachings than to speak all of the knowledge and wisdom from study. And so we're going to do just that. And so there's a couple of ways that you can give. They are on the slide. You can mail your Giving Tree donation to P.O. Box 2714, Grass Valley, California, 95945, or you can go to our secure website, https://sierracenter.org/donate.html, and that will take you right there. Just use the write a note function in the giving to let us know that it is for the Giving Tree, and know that you are appreciated. Thank you. So this is our time of inward shift. If you're driving, listening to our service, I invite you to keep your focus on your driving or pull over so that you can safely enjoy this meditation piece. So I invite you, wherever you are in your home, to minimize the distractions. If you're comfortable in your environment, to allow your gaze to soften, even allow your eyes to close. We will be experiencing a short contemplative meditation. At the conclusion of the meditation, our practitioner this morning, Deborah Ellis, will bring us out of the meditation with our opening spiritual mind treatment, also known as affirmative prayer. And then she will lead us in the reading of our weekly affirmation. Enjoy. This meditation is an adaptation of My Love is Limitless from Heart Thoughts by Louise Hay. One of the bonuses about loving myself is that I get to feel good. My love is limitless. There is so much love in this world, and we have so much love in our hearts. And sometimes I forget. Sometimes I think there isn't enough, or there is just a small amount. So I hoard what I have, and I am afraid to let it go. I am afraid to let it out. But as I become willing to learn, I realize that the more love I allow to flow out from me, the more there is within me, and the more I receive. It is endless and timeless. Love is really the most powerful healing force that there is. Without love, I could not survive at all. If little tiny babies are not given love and affection, they wither and die. Sometimes I think I can survive without love, but I cannot. Love for myself is the power that heals me. Today, I will practice as much love as I can.
Breathing a little bit deeper. Breathing in that breath of life, that point of light that intersects, interconnects, and aligns with all of life. It is that knowing that there is no spot where this light is not beaming brilliantly, beautifully, illuminating all that is. It is this love that is infinite, all-knowing, ever-present. It is that source that is forever giving of itself unto its creation. It is the Great Spirit. It is the universal intelligence. It is known by many holy names, and there is only one of it. It is breathing my life right now, moving and expressing perfectly, wholly, and completely. So from this place of truth, I speak a word of blessing this morning for this time together in spiritual community, claiming and affirming that this consciousness, this Christ consciousness, this light, this knowing, this expansion and evolution is happening right here and right now, in and through all that is seen and all that is happening back of this life that we are sharing together. I'm affirming and accepting that all that wants to be known this day in this reveling of this one life is known with grace and ease and unfolds exquisitely and perfectly. So grateful for our beloved Reverend Lani's talk this day, for the presence of the expression of this one as her life. So I simply just release with great gratitude and allow what wants to be known to unfold perfectly. And I anchor it by saying, and so it is. Good morning. Welcome to Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Deborah Ellis, and I have the privilege of being one of your licensed practitioners here in service to this center and beyond. And so what I'd like to do this morning is read through our affirmation, and then we can read it through together. So from wherever you're tuning in from, streaming in from, just know that you are welcome here. So here we go. Peace in my heart out pictures as peace in the world. My peace is a reflection of the Christ consciousness. Together we say, peace in my heart out pictures as peace in the world. My peace is a reflection of the Christ consciousness. And so it is. Welcome. We're glad you're here.
Stumble and fall, ain't nothing new at all. We just keep coming out with new ways of going down. Whether you're poor or rich, at the bottom of the ditch, you can finally see the light, turn your life around. Shingle by shingle, I'm patching up the roof. Row by row, I'm bringing in the crop. Love makes a change, I'm living the groove. New water's in the well and I'm grateful for every drop. I've had my share of debts, regrets. I'm leaving all that behind and moving on. I thank God today, and I can truly say my soul's dark night has turned to dawn. Shingle by shingle, I'm patching up the roof. Row by row, I'm bringing in the crowd. Love makes a change, I'm living the groove. New waters in the well, and I'm grateful for every drop. Shingle by shingle, I'm patching up the roof. Row by row, I'm bringing in the crowd. Love makes a change, I'm living the groove. New waters in the well, and I'm grateful. New waters in the well, and I'm grateful. New waters in the well, and I'm grateful for every drop.
Good morning again. So it is my honor and privilege this morning to introduce our guest speaker. Reverend Lani Howard is our Minister Emeritus. She was the senior minister here at Sierra Center for Spiritual Living for 9 years prior to my arrival. She continues to be an active member of our community. She continues to support our members and to support me in ways that I just can't even articulate. It is such a gift to have her wealth of knowledge and experience and the openness of her heart available to me. Such an incredible support. And so I look forward to learning from her this morning. I give you Reverend Lani Howard.
Good morning, Sierra Center. I'm Reverend Lani Howard, one of your ministers here at the Sierra Center. Our monthly theme for December, is celebrating divine truth. And our talk for today is called Preparing the Way. So when I heard that title, Preparing the Way, the first thing that popped into my mind was a Christmas carol. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. So we're talking today about that line that says, prepare him room. It really is about preparing room in our consciousness for the presence of Christ that is already there if we recognize it. So Christ is not Jesus' last name. It is not a female name. It is not a masculine. It is an infinite energy of love and oneness. Ernest Holmes, our founder, defines Christ as the Word of God manifest in and through humanity. Christ is universal idea, and each one puts on the Christ to the degree that they surrender a limited sense of life to the divine realization of wholeness and unity with good, spirit, God. So the Christ is already present in us. It came with the batteries installed. But how do we surrender that limited sense of self? How do we prepare the room to realize that unlimited presence of Christ? Well, I'm going to suggest that we have a few things we can do to do that. The first one is to remember that it's already inside and stop looking outside. Stop looking outside for that Christ presence and focus within. The next thing helps us to do that, and that is spiritual practice. And I'm going to talk in detail about each of these. And then we also remember to drop into our heart and let our heart show the way to what needs to happen in the moment. So that first step is to remember that the presence is already there. And of course, Jesus told us that the kingdom of God is within us. In the book of Luke, the kingdom of God is within us. It's awaiting our recognition of it. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus said, "If you bring forth what is within you will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you." So we are called to bring forth that Christ consciousness within us, that infinite presence of love and oneness. Jesus was someone who exemplified, someone who embodied that. He knew his oneness with infinite presence. And with all of Spirit's creation, he loved everyone and told us to love one another. That was his rule for us. Love God and love one another. He interacted with his fellow Jews, with Gentiles, with Pharisees, with Samaritans, with tax collectors, with adulterers. There was no other in his book. All were one in the eyes of the infinite source that created everything and everyone. This season calls us to make peace with one another, as Jesus was called the Prince of Peace. And we are invited to embody that as well. I don't know, many of you may have seen a movie about World War I, where there were German soldiers in one trench and British soldiers in another trench. And at some point, one of the German soldiers started singing Silent Night in German. And when the British heard it, they started singing Silent Night in English. And so they were both singing that song in their own languages. And at some point, one of the soldiers just thought, this is ridiculous, and came up out of the trench holding his arms up. And of course, the Germans immediately put all their guns up and then, nope, he's not carrying any weapons. So someone from the German side stepped up and they connected. Everyone came out of the trench and they shared photos and they shared cigarettes and they shared candy and they shared a soccer game and they just shared their common humanity. For a moment, they forgot about war and just celebrated being alive. So where are we at war in our lives now? Who is the reviled other in our experience in this moment? One way we can move from that consciousness of separation to the consciousness of oneness is through our spiritual practice. In the spiritual mind, we have many spiritual practices, but I'm going to focus on a few. And the first one, of course, is our spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. This prayer is not to do anything to God. God's already given us everything. It's to elevate our consciousness, our mind, into that divine mind so we realize who we are and what there is for us. So it allows us to step above the problem in order to move into solution, to realize there's another choice to make in this moment. So that is what we do in prayer. The next practice is meditation or mindfulness. Now, there are as many ways of doing meditation as there are people on the planet. You could meditate while you're cooking. You could meditate while you're folding the laundry. You could meditate by walking in the woods. Many, many, many forms of getting out of that doing mind and into the being mind. And one of the easiest ones is the breath. We all are breathing all the time, so it's just focusing on that breath and maybe doing a count, breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4, count of 4, and you just do that for a while. And thoughts arise, and you let them arise, but you don't get attached to them. You just let them float by like clouds in the sky. You just let them move on through and stay centered in the breath and allow being to be what's happening. The practice of mindfulness is really about being present where you are. If you're doing the dishes, you are feeling the water, you are scrubbing the plate, you are rinsing the plate, you are putting it in the dish dryer. You're just being present with what you are doing. You're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. You are right where you are. And that is a gift, to be right where we are, because that is the only place where we really connect with the infinite, because it's present in the eternal now. So we connect with that now moment, and we are empowered by it. On NPR, I was listening to a talk by a psychiatrist who was talking about all the people who are experiencing depression and anxiety because of the pandemic, and she was suggesting meditation and mindfulness as practices that could help people through that. And we're all looking for ways to get through that, and that is a wonderful way to do it. The next practice is study, and we have to study because these are laws, metaphysical laws. So we have to learn the law, and then we have to learn how to use the law. We learned about electricity. It was an invisible power that was there all the time, but we had to learn how to use it, and we had to learn how to use it in ways that were beneficial rather than destructive. And the same thing is true of these metaphysical laws. So we take classes and we study and we learn the underlying truths that undergird this earth plane that we are living on, and move into a greater realization of how to use the infinite power that is within us in ways that benefit ourselves and one another. The next practice is service. And I love the quote by Rabindranath Tagore, who said, "I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy." Service to others can heal us. I had an experience where I used to get anxiety attacks. I thought I was going to die. I couldn't breathe. It was, heart racing, all the classic anxiety symptoms. It was especially unnerving when it happened on the lower deck of the Bay Bridge. But I started in the science of mind and spirit, and I thought, well, I'm going to pray my way out of this. I'm going to do a spiritual mind treatment. And so I tried to do spiritual mind treatment for myself, but that did not work. So then I started doing spiritual mind treatment for other people. And when I did spiritual mind treatment for other people, the anxiety disappeared. It went away. So praying for others is one mode of service, and there are so many modes of service. There are volunteer organizations everywhere that could use someone who wants to find a place to do service. And how we find our place to do service is through that meditation. We're guided to that, which is our highest expression of service. I had a friend who said the shortest distance between two people is their story. So just listening to someone else's story is truly a service and is a great gift, especially in this time of discord. So listening to one another is a great opportunity for service. Another practice is giving and receiving. One of the laws of this metaphysical laws that we study is the law of circulation. And that is, what goes around comes around. You've all heard that. So we're called to give so that we may receive, because it's a flow. And if we just hang on to stuff, we're really blocking the flow. In the Bible, over and over again, it says it came to pass. Well, guess what? Everything comes to pass. So the sooner we realize that and let it pass and let it flow through us, the better off we are. I read about, I saw something on the news where a woman had lost her job, and instead of just sitting there feeling sorry for herself, she went out and started helping at the food bank and packing groceries and delivering groceries and doing that. And Steph Curry, the basketball player, heard about it and actually gave her a check for $10,000 so she could pay her rent and not be evicted. So what a blessing. What a blessing. Because she was giving, and the universe said, okay, she's given. Is she ready to receive? And we also have to be ready to receive. Some of us are really good at giving, but not so good at receiving. Excuse me. I haven't talked this much in a long time. Okay. I would also like to add another spiritual practice, which is listening to New Thought music. New Thought has an entire genre of music that is uplifting, inspiring, and that allows us to connect with truth at a deeper level, like music does. It connects directly to the physical beingness that we are. It can bypass the head and just inspire us. So, when that World War I situation started with a song, started with Silent Night, sung on both sides. So music is a universal language. And I just encourage you to find these uplifting songs and sing them to yourself, because they can tell you the truth when you forget. And we all forget all the time. That's why we are in spiritual community, to just remind each other of the truth. So the third way of preparing room for our consciousness of oneness is connecting to our hearts. The heart is the most powerful source of electromagnetic energy in the body. It's 60 times greater in amplitude than the electrical activity created by the brain. So connecting to our heart allows us to really open to a more loving channel of thought. So Heart Math Institute, which focuses on the heart and does scientific study, has a practice called the quick coherence. And I would like to practice that with you for a moment. So I'd just like you to get comfortable in a chair or wherever you are. Uncross your arms and your legs. Close your eyes or have a soft focus. and breathe deeply. And just allow any kind of tension or stress or anything of that nature just fall away. Just let that ebb away with each breath. Just breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Now move your awareness to your heart and imagine that you are breathing into and out of your heart. In your mind's eye, see the breath moving into the heart and swirling around and then moving back out again. See that breath coming in, swirling around, going back out of your heart. Now add a positive heart feeling. Bring up a memory of a situation that filled your heart with joy or excitement or love or happiness or peacefulness or gratitude. Some experience where you felt that heart emotion. And focus on that memory and the feeling that it evokes. And take that emotion, that peace, that joy, that happiness, that excitement, and focus on that positive emotion as you continue your heart-focused breathing. Your mind may wander, that's okay. Just bring it back to the heart and the breathing and the positive memory. And slowly bring your awareness back to the room. And know that you can practice this technique at any time when you want to shift your energy to a more peaceful and loving place. There's actually a YouTube video called Heart Math Quick Coherence that you can watch. And so you can do this anytime. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Since the explosion of the first atom bomb, we have read about the possibility of a physical chain reaction that might destroy civilization as we understand it. There's another kind of energy that is really more important. This is the energy of faith, of affirmative prayer, and spiritual meditation. There is no reason to doubt that in the field of spiritual consciousness, a chain reaction could be created which would bless the world. By doing the practices of remembering the Christ energy already lives in us, doing our practices of affirmative prayer, meditation, mindfulness, study, service, giving and receiving in music, and letting our loving heart lead our thoughts and our words and our actions to a world of peace, we together can bless the world." Let's take this into prayer. I am so grateful to remember and know that that energy of the Christ is present right where I am. It is in, around, and through all, always. So I know that it is true of everyone who watches this in this moment, that each one is an incarnation of that energy of love and peace and oneness. And so I accept and I know that this wonderful energy is out picturing in a greater way in this moment that each one who feels it, knows it, experiences, is led to a greater realization of it in form, so that we can indeed move forward as a blessing to the world. And so with great gratitude for all of this good that I know is unfolding, for all of this listening, for all of this joy that is being made manifest through this presence in this moment, with love and with joy, I release my word into the law, knowing that the law of life fulfills this word and brings it into perfect manifestation. And let us affirm this together as we say, and so it is. Thank you.
So I want to take a moment and thank Rev Lani for her amazing talk. Thank you so much. It is my honor to learn from you this morning. So this is our time of intentional giving. And if you were here in our spiritual house, we would be passing the offering basket. And so there are ways that we can pass the offering basket virtually. One of the simplest ways to do that is by giving online. And you can go to our website, www.sierracenter.org, to give that way. Just go to the website. Again, that's www.sierracenter.org. Scroll across the top there with your cursor. Click on the Donate tab, and that will open up the Donate page, and that will give you several options of ways that you can donate to Sierra Center. We are solely funded by your generosity. Another way to give is by mailing your intentional giving to Sierra Center for Spiritual Living at P.O. Box 2714, Grass Valley, California, 95945. Okay, let's read our intentional giving affirmation together. I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you for your giving. So as we get ready to close out our service this morning, I want to give you a couple of reminders. Number one, I want to remind everybody of the opportunity to give in keeping our community commitment to operate within a balanced budget in the year 2020. And so we've set up a giving tree, and if you'll send your donation, your end of the year donation, now this is in addition to your committed giving pledge. This is in addition to your regular Sunday offering. Whatever end of the year gift that you're giving, send that in a card to Sierra Center Giving Tree, P.O. Box 2714, Grass Valley, California, 95945, or when you use the online donate function at sierracenter.org, donate, then there's a function there that lets you leave a note. So in that write a note option, let us know that your giving is for the giving tree so that we can attribute it to that. I will put the card on the giving tree at the end of the year. I will let us know how much we've exceeded that number at the top of the tree by, which honestly, I don't even remember what number I wrote on the card. I did that at the end of November, and then I let go of that number, knowing that it's already fulfilled. And so we are proving these teachings. I look forward to sharing with you at the end of the year just how amazing these teachings actually are and how they work. So thank you for being with us. Here's our closing song.
1, 2, 3, 4.